Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. I I can think of one word in reference to tonight's the show title, and that's if it's a word, foobar, foobar, and that would explain our particular position if there were to be an all-out nuclear conflict. Foobar would much be the answer there, because, well, you can only have so many strategic locations around where you live, and well, first off, 30 miles east of St. Louis, a little bit north, but mostly east of St. Louis. Yeah, that would probably put you at a kind of an uncomfortable zone. But then when you have to consider that 20, 25 miles as the crow flies to our southwest is Scott Air Force Base, which is the Military Airlift Command Center. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that might have an X on it. And then to our northeast, we have, probably about 40 miles away or so, there's a town called Patoka, and it's got one of the largest oil storage facilities in the United States. Pretty sure that's going to have that big old red X on it. And then while we're northeast, probably around, 30 or so miles as the crow flies, 30, 35, is the town of Coffeen, which has a nuclear power plant. So that may or may not have a big red X on it, but I'm pretty sure that after the other targets were taken out, it's only a limited amount of time before that puppy's in meltdown. I don't know anything if there's any storage facility. I assume there probably is. A spent rod fuel pool. If so, that's going to make things a little uglier. So it is what it is. We could sit there and we could play fear-monger scenario left and right. But that's just the truth of the matter. And the majority of the people in this country are, for the most part, in the same situation. Hey, there's a whole lot of damn dots on the United States map, I'll tell you that. And most of us have quite a few of those dots around us. So there's, going to be, of course, the people that are in good spots aren't going to have so much to worry. But I think the large majority of us are at least going to have two or three within, 30 to 60 minutes away. So, again, even if there's not a direct hit 5 miles from your location, you could still have a very, very bad day from the 3 other spots 60 miles away. Anyway, the only thing that brings that up is just one of the articles today that I have to talk about. Not that I'm that concerned about it. I'm really not. I did all the worrying about that, I guess, when I was younger. The truth of the matter is, if there's an all-out nuclear conflict, we're pretty screwed. It's a good thing to have whatever preps you can have, just like we should be doing anyway. But if it's an all-out, mutually assured destruction, you can pretty well bet that it's not going to be very What's that? Oh, on Davos. A nuke on Davos. Now I know what you're saying. Well, I've been doing what I can to refrain from saying something like that. I actually have been the last couple of nights. It's been like, the perfect time to hit that place. And, but, yeah, I tell you, that would be That would be an opportunity, that's for sure. I'll word it that way. That would be an opportunity. Um, it's it's really crazy. The more and more the different parts of their plan roll out. Like with this guy, and I haven't talked about it much, but with this gas stove thing, do I think it'd be an issue? I don't know. You know, they seem to be pretty hard after a lot of nonsense, and it seems to me like their intent is to get you 100% reliable on their electricity, right? They're telling you that they want renewable energies and they want us to be, more dependent on renewable energies. However, these same people are the cats that are making it harder for you to install systems on your home. There used to be many different places where you could install a solar system on your home, and if you could produce more than what you used, the power company would have to reimburse you for that energy that you put into their grid. This was really done with with windmills, believe it or not. There were a lot of individuals that were putting up windmills or having windmills put up on their property. They would lease a section of property to a company that would put one up, and that's what the deal was. They put energy into the grid, and they got paid for that energy they put into the grid. Well, it wasn't long after that, and power companies started clamping down on that. And I think it first started with the big windmills and stuff that they kind of got out of that. And then when the solar thing started to boom a little bit more, people were starting to do that with solar panels. And they were pretty quick on that to say, "Oh no, we don't reimburse you for energy that you put into the grid." And they keep making it harder and harder for the individual to do anything when it comes to actually having a system hooked into their home with renewables, with solar, with wind, with whatever. The government, the same ones that are telling you how we need to get off, all of the fossil fuels and stuff like that, are making it harder for people to do that. The reason being is because it's not about getting the world off fossil fuels. It's about getting more control over you. If you only have one access for energy, and that is electricity, that is a whole hell of a lot of control, by one entity, essentially. I have no doubt that if they achieve this, if they get much of the nation off natural gas and on just electric, I don't think it's going to go well. Not only do I firmly believe the system can't handle it, but they're gonna jack the prices up, the rates, like you wouldn't believe, because they have that control to do so. They don't have a competition. I don't know. It's crazy. I think it's crazy the more and more I think about it. However, I have a feeling that there's other things that are going to be a bigger threat to us than that, in a sooner fashion. So, anyway, I've got 6 tabs open. Figured make it somewhat easy night. Not nothing super duper crazy. Oh, I got huffed though. So, there's that. Oh, man. I am telling you. So I got kind of something bittersweet but cool going on, and I don't want to jinx myself in any way, shape, or form. I don't know, I'm kind of superstitious that way. But I'm going to get a chance to do a little upgrading, very likely, in the very near future of my computer, and I'm excited as hell for that. And be on a definite pathway to get Jen on something a little bit quicker. My old, I think that thing's about 11 years old now, the one that she's typing away on, and it's a good computer. She plays an Android game on it. Well, she has to use an Android emulator on the computer, and that, for whatever reason, and we've tried multiple emulators, and for whatever reason, they cause the computer to crash. So it is what it is. It's not hurting anything if it crashes. So whatever. Not like I gotta pay somebody to fix it. I know how to take care of it myself. So, but this will allow me to actually start putting back parts, and as I get mine built up as what I intended when I initially built it, because what I did was I picked out a really, really good motherboard that had a lot of room for upgrade, and so I figured it'd be a long time before I ever had the chance to upgrade an entire system again. If I do, who knows? Probably not. With the way everything's going, I probably won't have the opportunity. But so when I built this, I made sure that the motherboard could support a much faster video card and a much faster processor, so that I could part those out later on if need be. Well, I do need a little bit more video oomph, and so that the current video card I have now, I do believe will work as it is in the motherboard she's using, and so I'll slap that in there as long as it works okay. Cool, she's got that. But then in the future, I may, because the way things are with computer parts and stuff, a better processor will actually be pretty cheap for me to get for this motherboard, because the prices have, they change, technology advances so quickly, and the prices of this stuff drops dramatically once it's not the latest greatest and starts moving down on the chain. And so anyway, then that'll give me a processor that I can put back into a box, and then all I got to do is get a motherboard and memory, and boom, she's got essentially a new computer. So that's the plan, man. Let's see. Okay, one more sip of coffee after I did all that yakking. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. Oh, bring you guys along for the ride. A study identifies, this was the actual headline, I had to shorten it for YouTube's. A study identifies best place to hide from nuclear blast, shockwave. And, well, that would be with my head tucked as tightly as I can between my legs. That's probably going to be the best place for me. The corner of a room is the safest spot to hide from a massive shockwave caused by a nuclear explosion, scientists from Cyprus has discovered after running a computer simulation of the catastrophic event. Those unlucky enough to be near the epicenter of the blast would be instantly vaporized, but those who are quite far away would still be in danger. Even if they remain indoors, the researchers warned in a paper published in Physics of Fluids journal on Tuesday. So Physics of Fluids is doing an article on aerosols or aerial things. Okay then. The study shows that high airspeeds remain a considerable hazard. Dimitris Drikakis, hey, I'm trying to say it how it looks, who led the team at the University of Nicosia, told the American Institute of Physics. The blast would cause a shock wave bubble almost 5 kilometers in radius, with strong winds capable of bringing down shabby constructions as well as injuring or killing people, the study revealed. Concrete reinforced buildings are likely to withstand the winds. Hoorah! But those inside would have to get to specific areas within seconds of the explosion in order to remain safe, according to the paper. That's because windows and doors are likely going to come flying in. The most dangerous critical indoor locations to avoid are the windows, the corridors, and the doors, like I said Ioannis Kokonakis, one of the authors of the study. The advanced computer simulation created by the team revealed that tight spaces inside buildings can sharply increase airspeed, with the shock wave also causing winds to deflect off walls and bend around corners. Such conditions can create a force equivalent to up to 18 times a human's body weight, the research showed. Wow, can throw you with 18 G's, in other words. According to Kokonakis, I don't know how else to say it, that's how it looks, one can be safe from the high air speeds. Kokonakis is going to come kick my ass. If positioned at the corners of the wall facing the blast, even if the room is facing the explosion. Should a survivor manage to withstand the shock wave by hiding in a corner, however, they would still have to contend with increased radiation levels, unsafe buildings, damaged power and gas lines, and fires. Dukakis warned. Now, Dukakis is not to be confused with Kokonakis. They're two different individuals. I just wanted to make that really clear. The authors of the paper believe... By the way, where the hell are they from? Because those are interesting names. I know I'm having fun with it, but those are interesting names. The authors of the paper believe their findings could be used by relevant authorities to amend instructions on how people should behave in the event of a nuclear explosion. They could also be used by architects to inform designs for new concrete buildings. However, the team expressed hope that the need for such consideration never arises. Well, yeah, you can hope in one hand, and anyway. I know it's supposed to be you can wish in one hand, but hope and wishing, not much difference. All right. Moving on. Work, mouse, work. Ukraine may get another Patriot battery. Not talking like a Duracell or nothing. It's a little more involved than that. This isn't surprising to me. This isn't news to me. And in fact, they probably got so many doing the conga along the supply chain. So I have no doubt they've got many in the supply chain on their way. So I don't think it's going to be that much longer, and we're going to see NATO involvement because it really does seem like they are that they're sending an awful lot of equipment that way, and it seems like they're sending a whole lot of troops that way as well. I don't think that they're going to have a big Mardi Gras over there. I think that they're going over there for a good reason. Well, I can't say a good reason, but for a reason. And I don't see any way around this, because I don't see... The only way I could see that this would end without NATO getting involved would be for Ukraine to give in. And I don't see Ukraine to give in as long as Zelensky's running it. Now, if they take out Zelensky, maybe nobody else will be so excited about becoming the head on the snake. So who knows? Who knows? Anyway, this here says Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has announced that the Netherlands has agreed to send Kiev one of its missile defense systems. However, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte has remained extremely vague on it and avoided making any specific commitments on the announcement. We have the intention to join what you are doing with Germany on the Patriot Project, Rutte told President Joe Biden ahead of their meeting at the White House on Tuesday, offering no details other than confirming he had discussed the issue with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Rutte previously told public broadcaster NOS that the idea is not only training but also equipment, though the country's military has yet to review what exactly we have. How can we ensure that it works well with the American and German systems? The Dutch military reportedly has only 3 Patriot systems in service. The Ukrainian leader interpreted the news as a definitive commitment, announcing in its nightly address that there are now 3 guaranteed batteries, and this is only the beginning. In recent weeks, the United States and Germany each agreed to send 1 Patriot anti-aircraft missile battery to Ukraine. A single Patriot battery comprises a power unit, a command station, a radar unit, and an antenna, as well as up to 8 truck-mounted launchers, each holding 4 surface-to-air missiles, developed by U.S. defense contractor Raytheon. The system has reported range up to 99 miles and can intercept incoming missiles or aircraft. Kiev has been requesting the American air defense system for months as Russia continues strikes on Ukrainian military and infrastructure targets. The calls intensified after a residential building was heavily damaged and dozens killed in the southeastern Ukrainian city of Dnipro on Saturday, in what a high-profile Ukrainian presidential advisor called a botched attempt to intercept a Russian missile. The Ukraine Defense Ministry denied having engaged the projectile and claimed it didn't have the capability to intercept Kh-22 air-launched cruise missiles in the first place. It went on to assert that its previous statements that some missiles of that model had been intercepted were inaccurate. Zelensky's advisor, Alexei Astrovich, was forced to apologize and resign after going against the official narrative. Moscow has vocally opposed the planned deployment of Patriots and any supporting NATO personnel to Ukraine, with the deputy head of Russia's Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, warning that they would become legitimate targets for Russian forces. Washington and Ukraine's other backers continue to insist that they are not a party to the conflict and that the missile systems will be manned only by Ukrainian personnel who are already undergoing training to operate them at a U.S. Army base in Grafenwohr, Germany, as well as Fort Sill in Oklahoma. So I'm real glad that they announced the locations where they were training these people. That was just brilliant. However, here's what I think's going to happen. Let's say that they only got 3 of these systems to give to them. Okay. I have a feeling they're going to deploy these 3 systems, and immediately after they deploy the systems and turn them on, I have a feeling that Russia's going to go bloop, 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 and take them out. That is what I think might be the red line when NATO will step in. If they don't even get a chance to use those once and Russia just takes them right off the map, I firmly believe Russia has the ability to do that. Not only do I know damn well they've got the missile systems to do it, including hypersonic ones, I'm pretty sure that they've got the surveillance capabilities to know what's moving in where. So I'm pretty sure on that. These quote unquote superpowers, yeah, they've got some powers, all right. It's amazing what I've heard about those satellites. Absolutely amazing. Day or night, rain or shine, doesn't matter. From what I hear, doesn't matter. I don't know. I can't confirm that. I've never seen that, but I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. Visual is not the only way to get data. You can always just send a signal down and record what comes back and get a pretty damn good visual image that way as well. So, who knows with the technology that we have no idea about. I think, though, that Russia will know where they put them at, and I think that they will take them out. I think that that will be, that'd be their prime objective at that moment. So we'll see. We'll see. And I'll have a drink of coffee. Old Germany over there reminds me of the meme guy on Facebook with the stick that's trying to prod whatever it is to get it to do whatever it wants. Yeah, that meme. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Germany wants U.S. to send tanks to Ukraine first, says Wall Street Journal. Well, yeah, I mean, hell, before they send into Ukraine, maybe you might want to send a couple my way. I mean, quality control and everything. Just send a couple my way. I'll make sure that they're good to go. And then I'll keep these as demonstrator models, and you can send as many as you want. Really? This is insane. I'm telling you, this is going to get full-blown. As demands for Berlin to approve the shipment of Leopard main battle tanks to Kiev threatened to fracture the German ruling coalition, senior officials said the U.S. should agree to send its Abrams tanks first, according to the Wall Street Journal. Poland, Finland, and Denmark have all volunteered to send some of the Leopards in their possession to the Ukrainian military, but such a move would require Germany's permission. Berlin has yet to receive any formal request to that effect, officials told the Journal. Senior German officials told the outlet that Germany would be willing to give approval, but only if the U.S. announced it would send Kiev some of its own Abrams MBTs, main battle tanks. Chancellor Olaf Scholz has described Germany as strategically interlocked with its friends and partners when it came to decisions on how to support Ukraine. Asked on Wednesday about the Leopard situation, Scholz told the World Economic Forum in Davos that he was concerned about the conflict in Ukraine escalating. The Ukrainians can rely on our support in their courageous fight, but it is also clear that we want to avoid this becoming a war between Russia and NATO, he said. While insisting that they are not parties to the conflict, the U.S. and its allies have also urged that Russia must lose and supplied Kiev with money and an array of increasingly heavier weapons. The Scholz coalition is reportedly split on the issue, with the Greens and the Free Democrats in favor of giving Ukraine Leopards right away, while his own Social Democrats are reluctant. Defense Minister Christine Lambert resigned this week, in part due to the tank controversy. Her replacement, Boris Pistorius, how would you love to have a name like that? Hey, Boris Pistorius, be easy to remember, admitted on Wednesday that Germany was indirectly involved in the conflict but would not comment on the Leopard affair. Don't you mean Cougar affair? Maybe a different story. Getting Abrams tanks from the U.S. has long been the goal of Ukraine's defense minister, Oleksiy Reznikov, who told Politico in October that the Leopard was a stepping stone on the road. According to the same outlet, Washington is reportedly unwilling to take that step at the moment, though not out of fear of further antagonizing Russia. Unnamed Pentagon officials told Politico on Wednesday that the issue is with the logistical and maintenance challenges of the Abrams, it's a piece of crap, and 67-ton machine with gas-guzzling turbine engine. I don't know if it's a piece of crap, but kind of makes it sound like it's a piece of crap. On Monday, the UK announced it would send 14 of its Challenger 2 MBTs in hopes of nudging other NATO members to follow suit. The single squadron appears to be all the British Army is willing to spare at the moment, though a Tory MP admitted on Wednesday that Kiev needs hundreds to actually make a difference. Hundreds. Just two. Moscow has repeatedly... By the way, I'm going to need some parking area. By the time you send me the F-15, you owe me that first. And then Biden promised the F-22, and then a couple of main battle tanks. So I'm gonna need some parking space too, Joe. Anyway, I'm telling you, it's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be stupid before it's all said and done. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it because I'm not looking forward to American troops dying over this nonsense. That's my number one biggest concern. The tax money getting spent by the military-industrial complex, that's one thing. But the loss of life, that, no matter what, there was no loans to be able to replace that. All right, shifting from that area, Taiwan warns of worst-case scenario. Beijing is now more likely to attack Taiwan in the years to come, Joseph Wu, the foreign minister of the self-governed island, warned on Wednesday. And were President Xi Jinping to do so, it might be an attempt to take the public's eye off domestic problems, he added. Speaking to Sky News, Wu noted that the situation around the island in the last year, compared to the 2 previous years, is much worse. However, he also pointed out, to me, 2027 is the year that we need to watch out for. The minister explained 27 is the year Xi Jinping would likely enter his 4th term. If in his previous 3 terms he cannot claim any achievement during his office, he might need to think about something else for him to claim as his achievement or his legacy, Wu explained. Again, against this backdrop, Wu is fearful that Taiwan might become his scapegoat. According to the minister, Xi might want to resort to use of force for creating a crisis externally, to divert domestic attention, or to show the Chinese that he has accomplished something. The Taiwanese foreign minister also stated that the worst-case scenario in terms of the standoff with Beijing had become more likely, citing the increased Chinese military activity around the island. Very often you see how the sum of a tiny little accident might spark into a major war, he admitted. The minister's remarks come as last month's Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen announced that the island would extend compulsory military service from 4 months to a year starting in 2024, blaming Beijing's intimidation and threats against Taiwan for the decision. So, of course, that's another area to keep an eye on. I need coffee. IMF warns of rising risks to global economy. The deepening cost of living crisis, high levels of debt, and geopolitical tensions across the world could cost the global economy up to 7% of GDP, the International Monetary Fund has warned. According to its report issued on Sunday, the rising trade restrictions could result in what it calls geoeconomic fragmentation. The longer-term cost of trade fragmentation varies from 0.2% of global output to almost 7%, which is roughly the combined annual output of Germany and Japan. The IMF said, if technological decoupling is added to the mix, some countries could see losses of up to 12% of GDP, it noted. Yet, according to the analysis, the full impact would likely be even bigger. The report highlighted that in addition to trade restrictions and barriers to the spread of technology, fragmentation could be felt through restrictions on cross-border migration, reduced capital flows, and sharp decline in international cooperation that would leave us unable to address the challenges of a more shock-prone world. And, that's another thing, too, with everything going on. And I've said it even to all of you as well. If there's stuff technologically related stuff that you would like to get upgraded, you might want to do that. Because as more stress and more attention is put on everything going on around the world, I have a feeling that goods, even if they don't get shut off at any time real soon, I have a feeling that the prices of a lot of goods are going to start to go up. So we'll see. I just have a feeling, for many different reasons, the prices of items are going to go up. So we'll see. Anything you want to get in on, get in on. Yep. I hear you, Leo. I hear you. Well, I may be moving up to a 3060 Ti very, very shortly. So I hope. So that'd be sweet. This 1650 Super is okay. But a little on the light side. Let's see. Yep. Especially if you're going to be doing anything real serious. I mean, I would like to get into more video editing type of stuff as well. But, limitations with that stuff as well, as far as, you just can't process your really high quality video. It's not only a time thing, but it also you can have a lot of issues. So a lot of like artifacts and stuff like that. So let's see. And as if that situation wasn't bad enough, that the IMF had to say Microsoft announces mass layoffs. There's going to be layoffs all across the board. Already has been, but I think it's going to continue. And everything's going to snowball. I really do think it's going to be some pretty crazy, stupid times. So I think that the American mindset needs to shift in order for us to be able to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, if you will. We're going to have to stop focusing on the best for the cheapest, and we're going to have to pony up and be willing to pay American workers to work in American jobs to produce American goods that we buy and keep that money in our own country. There is no other way around it. And, at some point, you tip those scales when it comes to the products you produce to the products you consume. And for a long time, Americans have been consuming far more than what they produce. And I'm just saying different types of goods, okay? There's a lot of types of manufacturing that we don't touch with a 10-foot pole over here. We need to have a change of mindset, and we need to fix that. But we also have to understand that if we want that higher level of living, higher than Chinese people having to work in slave sweatshops, if we want better than that, we have to be willing to pay better than that. Plain and simple. That means that we may not be able to afford a TV in every single damn room of our home. Whatever. It might mean that somebody like me can't do a simple computer upgrade because of the cost is so insane. But when it comes to the survival of a nation, well, you got to make the decision of what's best. But either way, it's going to be a rocky road. Either way, it's a road that we will undoubtedly go down. So it's kind of crazy. Do your best to soften this blow. Microsoft announced on Wednesday it will eliminate 10,000 jobs worldwide, almost 5% of its workforce, and take a $1.2 billion charge as global growth is slowing down. In a note to employees seen by Reuters, the company's chief executive Satya Nadella said the layoffs would conclude by the end of March, with notifications beginning Wednesday. According to the CEO, the company was grappling with a slump in the personal computer market as customers that were accelerating their spending on digital technology during the pandemic are now trying to optimize their digital spend to do more with less. We're also seeing organizations in every industry and geography exercise caution, as some parts of the world are in a recession and other parts are anticipating one, Nadella wrote. Anticipating one, right? Anticipating one. He added, however, that Microsoft will continue to hire key strategic areas, emphasizing the importance of building a new computer platform using advances in artificial intelligence and chips that they're going to put in our heads. Microsoft's job cuts announcement follows similar ones from other big tech companies amid rising concerns of a global slowdown. Let's see. Amazon said earlier it will be slashing about 18,000 positions, while Facebook parent Meta is laying off 11,000, about 13% of its workforce. Twitter's new CEO, Elon Musk, has also recently slashed the company's workforce. And from what I've heard, Bezos might have to build one less big space boner. So I heard there might be one less space boner in the fleet. We don't know. We don't know. However, maybe if the big giant space boner got together with Virgin Galactic, I don't know, they might be able to create something good together. I don't know. Just thinking. Let's see. I already talked about that. Ukraine possibly getting another Patriot battery. No new Duracells, though. Screw them. They don't get Duracells or rechargeables. So, China accuses U.S. of oil theft. No, we would have never done any of that. U.S. quietly shipping arms from Israel to Ukraine, says New York Times. Don't doubt it. Russia's trade with key ally hits historic high. IMF warned, covered that. Russia blames Ukraine for deadly Dnipro missile blast. Ukraine should get all weapons it needs, says von der Leyen. Well, it's great if you want to give them to them. Ukrainian interior minister killed in helicopter crash. Snowden mocks claim that he lived in a KGB safe house. EU official demands free Siberian overflights. Snowden's probably pretty well taken care of over there, I would imagine. I don't think he's given Putin all the goods on the because I don't think he's got all the goods on the United States. I don't think that's the situation. I think he had a lot of goods on the United States, but that faucet turned off. He don't have those goods anymore, and I doubt he's into the back end of the system. So he's not much more used to Russia in that manner, but at the same time, he's like a big middle finger to the United States, right? So Snowden just standing up, minding his own business, is like a big middle finger to the United States. Because, well, we can't touch him. Let's see. We could, but it would cause a lot of problems, right? We could definitely reach out and touch him, but it would probably cause a lot of other problems. So, Russia's seaborne oil shipments rise to 10-month high, says media. Let's see. No serious proposition on Ukraine from the West, says Lavrov. U.S. anti-Russia bill totally unwarranted, says South African foreign minister. Saudi Arabia ready to ditch dollar in trade, says finance minister. Biden asked Putin for meeting between spy chiefs, says Moscow. Yeah, that always, when you ask for meetings, hey, we want to have a meeting with our spies, but I can't tell you who it is that we're gonna send to the meeting because they're a spy, right? So you're just gonna go meet this person. They're gonna have the funny looking glasses with the mustache and the silly nose, but just no pictures, no nothing, because it's our spy, and you do the same, right, with your spy, and I spy your spy, and your spy, I spy my spy, and I spy in the sky. Right? Right. That's probably how the conversation would go with Biden. I know damn well that's how it would go down with Biden. Would you doubt that? I wouldn't. Man. Let's see. Russia indicates when Ukraine conflict may end. Probably whenever my stupidity does. It's going to go on for a while. World Economic Forum reacts to Musk insult. Russia's biggest bank to open in Crimea. Study covered that. Russia wants to trade with African countries in local currencies, says Lavrov. Let's see. We couldn't ignore what was happening in Ukraine, says Putin. A military deserter liquidated in central Russia. Taipei, I actually covered that. Arab League defied Washington on photo op, says Lavrov. Germany, indirectly involved in Ukraine conflict, says defense minister. Madonna urged to return lost painting. I talked yesterday about a painting that a family once... a painting that a family wants an individual to return to them. Now, supposedly Madonna has a painting that there are some individuals that would like it back. Let's see. Ruble and yuan dominate Russia-China trade, says Lavrov. German economy to avoid recession, says Chancellor Scholz. By the way, I think, that big damn building with the, really famous painting on the ceiling? Yeah, that was supposed to be my family's heirloom to me. So I need the deed for that big damn building. So can't even think of the name of the damn thing. What is it, the 16th Chapel or something like that? I'm gonna need the deed to that. My family, yeah. It was German owned. My family name was originally full of shits, and I need I need my big damn building back. All right, I'm telling you, the Ukraine conflict will end before my nonsense does. I promise you that. German economy to avoid recession. Ruble and yuan dominate. Oh, I did read that one. Let's see. Church of England takes stance on gay marriage. EU members secretly supplied Kiev with arms and fuel, says media. Wouldn't be surprised. Secretive program spies on Americans sending money, says Wall Street Journal. Norway makes fascinating discovery. A Polish president questions if Ukraine will survive. Let's see. EU Parliament demands Iranian Guard to be named terrorist group. Rich activists beg Davos to tax us now. Now I'm telling you, that's just for show. West is tired of the Ukraine situation, says Poland. I would say the people of the Western countries are very tired of it. Germany wants U.S. to send tanks to... Oh, I covered that one. A New Zealand PM explains surprise resignation. Yay. And there we go. Huh. Not bad. I got done before 9 o'clock. Not bad. Not that I was in a race. But, you know. I'm getting old. What do I have to look forward to? Going to damn bed. I look forward to going to damn bed. Don't ask me. That's the highlight of my day is going to bed. So. Anyway. Daughter, child. Thank you for your attention. She's just glaring. She's the most awesome dog. She's a trip. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Just do what you can. Keep at it. Don't, but, you know, live life too. I keep telling people to do that. Live life too. If you have an active life, we just don't have an active life. If you have or have had an active life, make sure you get out and you do stuff. If that's what you need, if that's what you require, make sure to do as much normal as long as you can, you know. None of us know any of this stuff as to what the future holds. None of us do. We're not prophets. So we could rumble on another 20, 30 years limping on one wheel. This country will not go down until they want it to go down. That's just the simple truth. The economy has been so screwed up and screwed over for so long. It's just a matter of when they say when. So just get your hedge against that bet, so to speak. Make sure you got some food and stuff put back. And think big. Think community. Because, as I keep trying to explain, a small group's not going to be able to do it. You might be able to survive the initial issue, but when it comes to replenishing stuff, community's going to be a hell of a lot better. Yeah, there's a lot of people. That's why you have to work smart and you have to work fast. And part of that includes you just sitting still until the dust settles. After the dust settles, you're going to have one or two things outside. You're going to have the really badasses, and you're going to have the people that's really good at either avoiding or fighting the badasses. You got to figure out which one they are and build that community. That's how it works. I don't know where the prepper fantasies come from that they put a group of 20 guys together and they're going to spend the end of eternity in their big metal storage, shipping containers out in the woods, right? It's not realistic. Not at all. You have to build bigger than that. You have to look bigger than that. Of course, if you're like us, and I am sure many of you are, you can't afford to feed everybody. And that's why I'm saying there's a period of time where you're going to need to be dark. Because you can't feed everybody. And you need to be able to sit zipped up long enough for a lot of the chaos to settle down. And then from there, you work on building. Because again, if it's not in the plans for building, there's a lot of people, Bear talks about, you got a bug out bag, you got to have a place to bug out to. He's got a very good point. Very, very good point. I feel that people that don't plan to grow, to build community, I feel like they're doing the same thing. They've got the bug out bag, but nowhere to actually go. They just figure they're going to wander into the woods and live out eternity as Attila the Hun. I don't know. Davy Crockett. Pick one. But it ain't going to go down like that. It ain't going to go down like that at all. Only very few people truly have the skills to go out there and Davy Crockett it. Most of us are not only going to need the skills, we're going to need the hands, we're going to need the knowledge, and even moral support from others. And I've said it many times, and I'll say it again. The best time to put together that group of people is after that dust settles. After that dust settles. Trust me on that. There's tons of history to go look at. Go look at what happens after major events, because apparently a lot of people forgot how this nation was after 9/11. But everybody pulled up real tight with one another after 9/11. That's what happens. Yeah, there will be unpleasantness. Yeah, there will be just crazy gangs of people going around taking what they can get. But that's not going to be the case for everybody. It's simply not going to be the case for everybody. There's many times in history, many different places that have gone through very trying circumstances. And it doesn't turn out like the prepper fantasies make it sound. It doesn't. We need to plan smarter than that. We need to be smarter than that. We need to actually look at what's happened versus what authors write about in books. Some of that stuff's accurate, but you have to know the difference between the accurate stuff and the stuff that's just good book stuff. It's important. If you don't have that discernment, those books could actually be a bad thing. It could actually put people in a little bit of a overconfidence, if you will. But, because, like Bear said about Angry Americans books, Sarge ain't coming. And that's correct. Sarge ain't coming. That's just a fact. Anyway, if you read the books, you'd understand that. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody coming. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.